This weekend, I was at a funeral at a Catholic church, and I could have relapsed. I thought about it. I didn't. Okay, spoiler. I didn't. Thank God. But I want to tell you about it. I want to tell you my thought process, how I worked through it, and what I realized. Maybe it could help you. So, my name is Allison. I am almost 16 months without alcohol after 20 years of heavy drinking. Okay? And I love to talk about this sober journey and all that I learn along the way. So subscribe if you're interested or on this path or want to learn something about this journey. I'd love to have you. So this weekend, I went to a funeral, rest in peace to my loved one. And I went to the Catholic church, okay? That's where the funeral was held. And I grew up in the Catholic church. We were not strict about it, but I'm familiar with it, okay? I did have my communion as a child. I am familiar with the smells and the songs, and there's a lot I didn't retain, but I know the bread and the wine and the incense, and I have memories, okay? I spent years there. And when we showed up to the funeral, I snuck in, we were a little late, and I snuck into kind of a middle row and sat there, and shortly thereafter, I could smell the incense. They were beautiful. I loved it. I mean, no disrespect, by the way, to anyone who is a Catholic. I love all my Catholic brothers and sisters and people of all religions, okay? But we're talking about sobriety and the opportunity to relapse. So the incense were very strong, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, one, that does remind me of Mass as a child. And two, the smell is almost identical, if not identical, to the smell, the incense at parties that I would attend when I used to drink heavily. It was the same, or it reminded me of it. The sense of smell, the olfactory sense, is really powerful, and memories just started flooding through me, and I immediately associated the incense to alcohol. And I was like, these images, these thoughts were flooding into my brain, and I was like, oh my God, I could have a drink. Without even thinking, that's what it reminded me of. And my mind and body were like, I know where this leads. This leads to getting really drunk. It wasn't a well thought out idea. It was just coming to me, okay? And then I start looking because I can hear someone at the front pouring the wine, the blood of Christ, into the chalice. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I want some of that. I could have some of that. That sounds good. I was like, oh. I was honoring and remembering and praying for the person I was there to celebrate and honor. But that just shows how quickly these thoughts, these memories, these opportunities can come to us anywhere. Even at church, even at a funeral, even at a Catholic Mass. And of course, the opportunity to relapse, to drink, even when that's not our plan, even when we're sober, can happen anywhere. When we're out to dinner, when we're at a party, when we're driving down the road and we see a billboard, or when we're watching a movie and they're drinking these beautiful cocktails, or we're at a barbecue, whatever it may be, whatever causes you to think, oh wow, okay, I could go for a drink. Even at Mass, okay? I was surprised. I was surprised, and I wasn't, because I'm observing these types of thoughts as they come to me. And then I had these silly thoughts of like, what if I went up to the priest and was like, hey, look, I could just envision me chugging the wine. Of course I didn't. I did not. I guess I shouldn't say of course, you never know. I did not, though. I didn't accept the wine. I didn't take a sip. And I do believe that if I had a little wine, it could lead to more elsewhere, at the luncheon afterward or something like that. And I found it really interesting, and I was kind of confined to the seat because that's where we were staying. I could have gotten up and left, of course. I have the freedom to do that. But there was kind of a safety in this moment, in this sitting in this chair. I wasn't going to get up from it. Being like, okay, well, where is this thought coming from that I want to drink? Is it the smell? Is it the memory? Is it the association of the incense with the booze? This isn't the first time I felt it. I'm not going to drink the wine. I'm not going to accept the wine. I'm not going to have more at the lunch afterward. But I just found it fascinating that the opportunity came up even in church. It can come up anywhere. It's not crazy. It's just a thought. It's just an association. We don't have to believe all of our thoughts. We don't have to do something because we have a craving. We don't have to do something because we have a desire, a temptation, an urge. We get to decide, is that what I want? We get to pause and say, is that how I want to spend my day? Do I want to spend my day drinking? Do I want to relapse today? I know sometimes we can react and do the thing before we think about it, and that's a learning opportunity too. But I think sometimes we get overwhelmed by these thoughts like, oh my God, they're consuming me. Oh my gosh, what if I listen to it? Oh my gosh, is this forever? But think about all the thoughts we have that are not who we really are. We might have a judgmental thought. We might have a fear that kind of came out of nowhere, an idea we never pursue, good and bad and ugly. It doesn't matter. They come and go. These temptations come and go, and we get to let them. We get to say, I see you. I hear you. I'm going to choose something else today. And that's what they say is all that's needed is like, what do I need to do this hour, this minute? Okay, I'll take the next minute as it comes. Do I really want to relapse today? No, I don't. Tempting, but I don't. At the end of the day, I don't. Do I want to drink more at lunch? No, I really don't. I know that feeling. I've experienced it before. I don't want to. So I found this experience really interesting, and I wanted to share it because, one, if you're sober or you've tried to be sober before and you have these thoughts come up, these temptations, these urges, it doesn't mean you have to follow them. You don't. You get to decide. You get to respond how you want. You are in control. You are powerful. The choice is up to you, you know? And if you do give in to something that you're not happy about, that's okay. It's a learning experience, right? Be safe. Take care of yourself. But everything is a learning experience. And additionally, this can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. We can be tempted by things that are not necessarily good for us or in alignment with us, or they won't help us to be balanced. Anywhere. Walking down the street, at a friend's house, in our own house, on the internet, wherever. And I kind of think that's just part of life forever. And we get to learn to be strong and face it and choose wisely. You know what I mean? Even at church, even at a funeral, this can come up. So have you had something like this happen at church? Have you, faced a moment like this and said, oh, I don't have to choose this? Do you have these temptations come up in sobriety? I'm really curious. And what do you do about it? It's all kind of new to me. Like I said, I'm almost 16 months without alcohol. And it's a learning process. I like to share about it here. I learn when I share, and maybe it could serve you. And yeah, come back for more. Tell me if there's anything you want me to talk about. Like this video if you like it. And I'm glad to have you here. Be well. Take care of yourself. You're worth it.